Hello there, welcome to Inkquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with a very special fountain pen related video because this video has been like 6 months in the making. Trying to get, it isn't just getting these people together, it's getting all of our products together so we can all discuss everything Ferris Wheel Press. So today's discussion is going to be like a mini Calgary Pen Club meeting, because I've got 2 of my Calgary Pen Club members with me today, and they basically introduced me to the new pen that comes from Ferris Wheel Press and got me interested in it, and I'll let them talk about that process as well. So I want to thank Claudia, first of all, for joining us. Thank you, Claudia, for being here. And
hello.
There she is. And Mike, thank you so much, long-term Pen Club member. So thank you both for being here, guys. Appreciate it. I wanted to just give everybody an idea of what the process was here that got us to today and why we're talking to you about everything Ferris Wheel Press. As I understand it, you guys entered into a Kickstarter with Ferris Wheel Press because they were developing and sending out to Kickstarter people this new Marquise fountain pen that they had designed. And when did that happen for you guys?
I honestly don't remember exactly. It's going to have to be last spring, not
spring,
this past spring, but the spring before.
So where did you hear about the Kickstarter?
It came through my Instagram feed.
For me, it was through their email list. Mm-hmm. I believe that it was in the summer of last year.
Yep.
And yeah, they announced the Kickstarter campaign, and they have these very pretty photos of the new pen, and it was like, that is really nice.
So you put your bucks up to get a new Marquise. Did you get a choice of what color you'd get?
Yes, you did. There were 3 options. Mm-hmm. And actually, when the campaign started, they had different tiers. And I chose my pen that I got in this very pretty lilac that they call Pearl Drop Blue with nibs that came in this fantastic tin. Mm-hmm. You could get 1 nib or 3, but I just got the 1.
Right.
And it comes in this packaging, which is really, really nice.
Like the tin box. What did you get, Mike?
I ordered one of my favorite colors, the aubergine, which is absolutely a fantastic color. And I also got one of the nibs, which came in likewise this wonderful box. And I chose the double broad.
The BB, yes, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's where I kind of came in, because I was at a Calgary Pen Club meeting with you guys. I don't know whether Claudia was there too, but I remember Mike handing me that purple aubergine pen and said, this is the new Ferris Wheel Press. And I went, ooh, my, because my experience of Ferris Wheel Press goes back to 4 years when I was contacted by them and asked if I wanted to review the carousel, number 1, and the brush, comes in this sleeve, the brush pen, which I think they call now the Bijou. I reviewed these 2 products, never heard anything else from Ferris Wheel Press for a number of years. And then I saw the Marquise of Mike's and wrote with it, and I said, well, that's some real nice improvements over the brush pen, which I wasn't all that fond of. I got an email from Fizza, who is the marketing manager in Toronto of Ferris Wheel Press. Hi, Fizza. And said, hi, I'm so-and-so from Ferris Wheel Press. We don't know whether you know us or not, but we make fountain pens and inks, and would you be interested in doing reviews of our products? And I wrote back and said, well, I've been there, done that, and pointed to my reviews. And I said, oh, that's fabulous. Let me send you some stuff. Now, this is, I think, back in September. And then there was an attempt to send me stuff. I also told Fizza, I said, well, there's 2 members of my Calgary Pen Club that did the Kickstarter, and they got themselves Marquisa, and that's where Marquise, got to pronounce it properly. And I'm interested in that pen, and that's how I got interested in it. And she said, "Oh, who are they? We want to send them products too." So I gave them your guys' email address, and they sent you a Joule pen, right? Where have you got yours, Claudia?
Yes.
What color did you get?
This is the Miss Coraline. You cannot really see it in camera, but it is a very, very beautiful enamel with a bit of shimmer. It's fantastic. And it has a very large nib.
Number 6 size nib, yep.
And yes, and it's all, the section has all these engravings. It's very, even though I have a very small hand, it is very comfortable.
Right.
And yeah, I have been passing this around also with people that are not into fountain pens, and they find it really, really comfortable.
Nice.
So that's a good thing.
So that's like an emerald green, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's a dark green. It's very, very nice.
And which one did you get, Mike?
Well, I wanted a Joule because I already have a Marquise, but every time I asked for specific colors,
they were out of stock.
They didn't have it.
Yeah.
So they ended up sending me the Superman blue.
Oh, in Marquise, but not a
in
Joule.
the Marquise.
So you haven't got a Joule.
I don't have a Joule.
Well, we'll have to let you try one when next time we see you, or the next pen.
But I already liked it, so I didn't mind getting another one.
That's true.
That's okay. Yeah.
So you got the Superman blue, the deep blue one.
Yep.
Yeah.
A view from above.
Yeah. We kind of put things together. Fizza and you, Claudia, and you, Mike, we kind of got together on email and said, okay, I'm going to send those guys these pens. And of course, I didn't have either of them. And so Fizza said, well, I'm going to send you a Marquise and a Joule. And we waited. You guys got your pens. Every pen club meeting, you'd say, well, did you get yours yet? No, I haven't got mine. So we couldn't do this because I couldn't get the product. And then emails back and forth, and we said, oh, let's try it again. So we're into November at this point. Let's try it again. They did another shipment in November, and nothing came, and I promptly forgot about it. We got to after Christmas, and Fizza sent me an email and said, you know, how did it go? Did you like the pens and the products and stuff? And I said, I still haven't seen anything. And so and this is New Year's? Yeah, January 2nd or 3rd. And so I said, you know, let's look at the tracking. So we tracked it, and it arrived in Calgary on December 26th. And then promptly went back to Toronto. So there was an issue with the delivery, might have been the slowdown at Christmas, but the whole thing got sent back. And so Fizza apologized profusely and said, we got to send you something. At the same time, I said, I want to speak to someone at Ferris Wheel Press because I was doing Yost's Applebaum Bites podcast as a co-host. And Yost was saying, who should we interview? Who should we interview? Well, give me ideas. And so I said, let's talk to Raymond Yu, who is the CEO in Toronto of Ferris Wheel Press and the founder of Ferris Wheel Press. And I had not met him before, but I contacted Fizza and I said, I want to have a Zoom meeting with Ray. Talk about all these issues that we had, talk about the new products, and sort of break the ice before we sat down live on camera with Yost. And I had about an hour-long Zoom meeting with Ray, and he's a wonderful, charming, passionate guy. I really like him. I liked his answers, very, very straightforward and honest. And I told him some of the issues that I had and other people have with Ferris Wheel Press, and he talked about all of them and stood his ground on some things and talked about the changes that they're making in Ferris Wheel Press to make other things better. And so I came away from that Zoom meeting feeling very good about Ferris Wheel Press. And of course, I got my products, and Fizza went overboard. I'm thinking this is because 2 failed deliveries, and let's just send him everything. So she sent me everything. And so first of all, she said, well, which Marquise do you want? And I said, I want the Superman. And so send me either this one, which is the view from above. This is the one that Mike has. Or this one, which is it's hard to read, but this says Fortress of Solitude. And of course, she sent me both. So I got both Marquise pens, and here they are. One is in this deep royal, almost purple blue that Mike has as well. And this one is very close to yours, Claudia.
Yes.
But this is the Superman pen. So these pens have the Superman on the nib.
Oh.
So, and I do this upside down because all the writing on Ferris Wheel Press stuff, all the engravings on the nibs are all upside down from what you normally expect from a fountain pen. I asked Ray about that. I said, why is everything upside down with you guys? And he says, no, it's right side up. You know, when you're looking at someone writing, like if you were doing a magazine ad showing someone writing, it would be right side up, right? And he's a print media guy. That's where he comes from. But he also says, when I look at my pen, he did this. He looks at it like this. I've never seen anybody do that before. And he looks, well, I'm going to admire my pen. Well, the way I do it, as I'm writing with, I admire it by looking at it like that. Different strokes for different folks. But anyway, I got those two, and she sent me this Joule pen, and this one's called Blue Revelry. Comes in this lovely box, and it comes with, did it come with ink? Yes, no, it didn't. It comes with a sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah, there we are. And the sleeve is leather, and it says Ferris Wheel Press in gold, what do you call that, foil stamp, and a maple leaf, Canadian maple leaf on the bottom. Yeah, and it's a lovely, lovely pen sleeve. So I promptly filled this one with ink, wrote with it for a bit. I haven't done the review on any of these pens yet, but I gave this to Wynn, my wife Wynn, for her to use, and she just loves it, really, really loves it. But that's not all, folks. Fizza wasn't finished there. She kept sending me more stuff. She sent me a bottle of, a 38 milliliter bottle of Ferris Wheel Press ink, which is Astral Blue Odyssey, a deep sapphire blue with a rose-colored shimmer, a fascinating ink. And she sent me a nib set as well. Only get this, folks. Yours came with 1 or 2 or 3 nibs. one nib. This one is tin box, all of them. So she sent all of them, and that's from EF, F, M, B, and double B, and each one of them has a character attached.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you like
mine,
that, huh? Yeah.
Yes, that is what I discovered. Mine has a character called Lady Annabelle Rose, and it's like a cat.
Yeah, that's the fine nib right there.
Yes.
I'm not going to be able to focus on this. I've got some B-roll that I'm going to put in here that shows these products a little bit closer. But the fine, let's see, we go from the EF is Lady Dido, D-I-D-O-T. The F is Lady Rose. The M, medium, is Lord Evergreen. The broad is Captain Grayson. And the double broad is Peter Moss. And they each have a caricature of the, engraved in the nib with that character. And
This is a Peter Moss ink.
yes, okay, Peter Moss, the green.
Yes, it's one of the three.
They're all our characters. And did they make these characters up, or is there some book that I'm missing?
No, I think that they made them up.
Yeah, they have all kinds of information about each one of these characters and their lifestyles and their personalities and all that kind of stuff. I think it's just fabulous. It really speaks to the personality that I discovered with Ray, because his company's motto is make fancy fun.
Yeah.
And Ray talked about this at length, make fancy fun. And the one thing that stuck with me with our Applebaum interview was, no, actually it was with Zoom, is that he says, I don't make black ink. Let everybody else make black ink. I'm not interested. It's not interesting. And we want things to be fun. We want to attract new people to the idea of writing on great paper with great inks, fantasy and play and cool patterns. And he just wants to make everything fun. And he says there's no fun in black ink. If you want a document black, you'll have to go somewhere else. You're not going to get it from Ferris Wheel Press.
It was the packaging that originally attracted me to Ferris Wheel Press.
Yeah.
It just grabbed you right up front.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I noticed, especially with the boxed inks. I had a long discussion with him about this bottle, because this bottle is you either love it or you hate it. I talked to Ray about the idea of form and function. And for him, form kind of trumps, pardon the expression, a function. That it needs to have a style that speaks to something, that has a meaning to it. The bolt on top of here, or the nut, is brass. This represents and symbolizes the Ferris Wheel Press in Toronto. They've got a vintage printing press, and he's from the paper and printing business. And the bolt represents some of the parts of the original Ferris Wheel Press. And the logo of Ferris Wheel Press, this one's hard to see because it's all in glitter, but the design on the top and bottom and the print font and all of that has to do with the 1800s. There we go. That's better, Claudia. It's the late 1800s printing press kind of style and motif that symbolizes their company. So everything they do needs to be imbued with some kind of playfulness, storytelling, and they want people who use their products to create new stories and go on new fun journeys. If the function of this bottle doesn't please you, that's fine with him. They're going to continue to make this bottle because this bottle won them design awards. It does look like a perfume bottle, right?
Yes.
But with that brass nut makes it top heavy, right? So he said to me, how many times have you had an accident with one of these inks? And I said, more than once. How about you? And there's the little one. That's the, what size bottle is that?
This is 20 milliliters, and these are from other collections.
Yep.
And speaking about the stories and all the whimsical things, they do have free downloads in their website, so you can download that and use your inks, even if you're not artistic like me, and you can actually paint them. I think that is fantastic.
So adult comic books, adult coloring books.
Yes. Yeah, it's a sort of coloring book. So if you print that at home in good paper, and you can use that for your journaling, for whatever. And they also have some WhatsApp stickers that are these characters.
Oh yes, cool.
So it's super cool that you can spread, all those little whimsical thingies.
Yeah. And that appeals to a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah, I think that is very, very appealing, especially to a younger demographic that sees all these. It's not kawaii like the Japanese kawaii, but it is so cute. It has so many details, and they are so well thought, and they do make like a story for each new collection. So I remember this particular ink that is also shimmering. It's called Twinkling Tea Party, and it was all sort like Alice in Wonderland theme. And each of their collections has sort of a theme. So it's always really nice.
Well, my very first purchase with Ferris Wheel Press was their Alice in Wonderland collection, all 9. And because my motto is going down the rabbit hole, so it was so apropos, I had no choice but to buy the whole collection. I bought some from them in Toronto, and I had to go as far south as the U.S. to get some. because they were discontinued as quick as they came out. So it was luck that I got the 9th one.
And I also have this. I designed and have my son print these. These are ink buddies that your ink bottle goes into to keep you from spilling it all over your desk.
I want one.
I need that. I need that. So yeah, I love their inks. I think one of the first ones that I really like is actually a black. There it is. Now I remember now that I read the label, Roaring Patina Black. And so he does have a black, but it has this gold shimmer to it. I just love this ink because I don't like black either. I like black to have some character. And so that ink was, I think, one of my first from Ferris Wheel Press. I wanted to talk to you guys about what sort of your likes and dislikes about Ferris Wheel Press. It can be anything. The thing you like the most, and the thing you like the least, maybe. Mike, maybe we can start with you.
Well, the thing I like most about Ferris Wheel Press is their Marquise pen, their packaging, and their inks. What I don't like is that their inks are always going out of stock or being discontinued. And you find one you like and you go to get it again and it's not available anymore. So that's kind of sad. But otherwise, I really do like their inks. I love them. As for their pens, it's the Marquise, the only one I've really had experience with.
Yeah.
I do love it, but I have a thing for metal pens anyway.
Yeah.
And when I saw it come up on Instagram, I had to have it right away, immediately, hands down. So.
What about you, Claudia?
I really like this company. I do like the inks. I do like all these whimsical stories around it. I do have a lot of their products. I do have even rollerball pens. Mm-hmm. I love these pens. I have taken like the cheapy rollerballs. Mm-hmm. I have taken them on planes. I've taken them to the Arctic Sea where I had to work. I have taken them.
Dip it in the ice and see if it still works.
Well, yes, pretty much. It was almost that. And they were still working. Yeah. And I travel with them when I have to travel far away sometimes, many hours, mm-hmm. and I have had no issues with them. They always write right out of the bat. I had a couple issues with one of the rollerballs, but I have 3, and the other 2 did not have issues. And the same with the pens. The inks actually work in all of my pens. So I am really, really happy with that.
Excellent. So for me, I like a number of things about the new pens. The number one thing I like about both of these pens, the Joule and the Marquise, is the number 6 size nib, the size of the nib. But I like the new finishes on the barrels. The anodized aluminum is superb. The colors of these anodized aluminum is superb. And I like the fact that this is a definite improvement over this, the brush. That was kind of like their symbol of the company, that hexagon brass nut that you see on top of the ink bottles and everything. And so it's a signature feature of this pen, and it becomes a roll stop as well. I liked what they did with these. This cap band, there's no cap band there, really very, very thin, but they flatted this into that pattern. So instead of just the cap band being that shape, it's the entire body of the pen, but then it slims out into this torpedo shape over here. I think this is so elegant. And the squared circle kind of thing. And Visconti does this as well with a square going into a circle. But this is a hexagon going into a bullet shape or a torpedo shape. Same thing at the other end. I think that's genius. And it ends up being its own roll stop, whether you have it on your desk uncapped or not. With the Joule, this reeded cap band, large, catches the light. It is just beautiful. And this color that Wynn's got here is like a sapphire blue with all, I'm sure you can't see this on camera, but all kinds of sparkly on it. And Wynn is a bling girl, and she loves the bling. So she fell in love with this immediately. I put it in her hand. The one downside of this pen is that when you have it uncapped, it will roll off your desk. So there is no roll stop on that one. Other things I like, this is the ink that came with Superman. There were two, because I got two different colors. Heroic Blue, that's the dark blue, and Frozen Fortress. And other than the colors, which are great colors, always, their inks are so beautiful, is this wide mouth cap. So they listened, this throat in this bottle, you can't get a piston filler in there. You just can't, because it's not big enough. And then you've got it knocking all over the place, so it's an accident waiting to happen. So I've said for years, Ferris Wheel Press, you need to open the throat on your bottles. But this is a wide throat. But I opened both of these bottles of ink, and they have this silicone seal. Now this bottle has the same silicone seal, but it's inside the cap. This is on the top of the throat of the bottle. And when you think, oh, I'll just peel that off, I got ink all over my, I don't think I've had a bigger accident with ink recently than opening this bottle of ink. And then when I got to the second one, I thought, well, I'm not going to make that same mistake again. I put tissue all over the place. I opened the cap. I got a pair of tweezers and lifted the silicone seal very carefully, and it dripped all down the back. And so I had the same ink explosion. So that's my negative on those bottles. Please keep the wide throat on that so I can get my fat pens into your ink. But do something with that seal, because maybe it's user error, but I bet you there's other people out there in internet land that have had this experience as well.
Well, they have been using those bottles for the calligraphy inks,
Okay.
which I have not tried because
That's good to know.
I don't do calligraphy, so.
And Ray did say that bottle design is a big deal for them. Designing and creating and manufacturing a new bottle design is very expensive. So I don't think we'll see this go away. But I think changing the seal to being inside the cap rather than on the top of the bottle might be easier. I don't know. I'm not a manufacturer.
Another thing too is if you do have a piston filler like Visconti, and even if your section does fit into it, but it's still a tight fit, when you depress the piston fill,
Vesuvius.
Yes, because it pressurizes.
Yeah, it pressurizes. Yeah, you'll have the backflow. Displacement. The other thing I did want to mention, and I'm going to mention this in my review, is that both the Joule pen and the Marquise pen, they all use the same number 6 size steel nib, and they have different patterns on them depending on whether you're getting this set or not. But it's basically the same nib. Between the two Marquise pens, I found them both very, very stiff. I was surprised at how stiff they are. They feel like how Chinese nibs were 5 years ago, that there's no bounce to them whatsoever. And one of them was, this one's almost unpleasant to write with. This one is better. And with a little tuning, I might get them better, but they're not going to be easy writers. I don't know what your experience with your number 6 nibs is, but I found them to be not as pleasant as I expected them to be, because I was so happy that they were number 6s. What about you guys?
For me, they feel fine.
Yeah.
I did not have any issues, and I don't even have feedback on the pens. For me and my style of writing, they do work really well.
Right. Well, that's
even
good
though
to know.
they are stiff.
Yeah.
They are not bouncy, but for my writing style, they are okay.
What about you, Mike?
I prefer a bouncy nib, but I don't mind the way these write at all. If I play with them, I like really wet nibs anyway. So if I play with them to get them to flow more, then I find them really smooth, and I do enjoy writing with them.
I find them very wet.
Yeah.
That's which is nice. And it might just be because Murray says I have a really heavy hand on the page. I don't think so. But I did want to ask you guys one more thing about Ferris Wheel Press, and that is, what do you think about the pricing?
They are a bit pricey. Even the first ones, the brush, they were not super cheap. However, they are metal. They are not made in. I mean, this was made in China,
Yeah.
I believe,
Yeah.
but they have all these other details like this, like the engraved section,
Yep.
the engraved nib. They do come with a converter, although Chinese pens
Yep.
are coming with converters these days. I believe that they might not have the volume to lower the prices because some of them, yeah, I don't think that they are there yet to be able to charge 300 Canadian dollars or something like
For a
that
steel
for, yes.
What about you, Mike?
Well, personally, for being a metal pen fan,
Yeah.
and the design of this being so incredible, I don't think the little over $200 is exorbitant at all. For me personally, it's a fair price. Now, it does surprise me though that the Joule, which I think is not quite as nice as the Marquis, is priced higher.
I was surprised at that too, because I just did some pricing. The Marquise here is $199 Canadian, or $146 United States money. The Joule is $239 Canadian, or $175.50 US. I think this is a better pen than this one, just personally. I mean, they're both built with the same quality. They have the same nibs on them, basically. They both come with a converter. They're both metal pens. It might be that this one has this lacquer finish on it, whereas this is extruded aluminum. So it might be a little less expensive to make this one than this one. I don't know. But I was surprised.
The other thing that surprised me was with the Marquise too, is that the special edition pens like the Superman pen comes with a little bottle of ink.
Bottle of ink.
But the increase in price is really substantial.
The Superman here, this set, comes with a bottle of ink and a Marquise, and it's $349 Canadian, or $256 US. Now, even with a bottle of ink, as you're saying, that's well over $200 US for a steel nib. And so I think the extra here you're paying for is the branding, right? It's the Warner Brothers branding of the Superman. It's the same thing with the
Lord of the Rings. I really wanted that. That was so beautiful because it is pretty much like this, but the ring is the ring, the Lord of the Rings. And but it was really expensive. So
if the Superman pen had come in a tin box, I think that would have be real value added and make it more worth the asking price for it, right?
You're talking like a fanboy there, Mike. So how much of that? I'm not really a fanboy kind of thing. There are gamers out there and movie buffs that love everything Lord of the Rings. They love everything Warner Brothers superhero, and they'll pay the premium to get the collector's edition. There's a Harry Potter series as well from Ferris Wheel Press, and Yost sent me this. This is the Harry Potter fountain pen and original stylo plume Hogwarts Houses writing set. And the door opens up and you have what do they call this now? It used to be called the carousel.
I think they are still carousels.
They're calling the carousel. So that's a carousel, the plastic pen with a steel nib, and a small bottle of ink. And this set is $65 Canadian, $48 US. But look at this packaging. It's outstanding, and it has the story of Harry Potter going on here. And so that licensing can't be cheap.
No.
So if you're a real fan person, I think you would like to have something like that in your collection.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I agree that for licensed stuff, yes, the collectors are going to pay their premium.
So is it Lord of the Rings for you, Claudia?
Yeah, it would be Lord of the Rings, yes.
Yeah, I'm not into the Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, but I think this whole business that they created their own storytelling, fantasy storytelling, is very clever.
Yes, and every box has something, and they have all the characters, and They are fantastic.
They also have these little guys that I got a while ago. These are the Ink Chargers. And,
Yes.
and this one has a Tanzanite Sky, Bluegrass Velvet, and Candy Marsala colors on it. And they're interesting little ink bottles. They're about the size of a double A battery. In fact, they put a plus and a minus symbol on them to make them look like batteries.
Yes.
But I can't figure out how to get the ink out of this into my pen.
Well, I have this set that it has been sold out forever. I don't think they brought it back again. It's called the Dabber, and it comes with these it's a needle point, 0.5 millimeters, but it's like a microfiber.
Right.
And it does come with the charger somewhere in there. But yeah, I don't even dare to use it because it's like really, really nice. And I don't know. It's really nice. So I have not used it. I wish they would bring more of this because it's friendlier way, I think, to get people into inks. There's people who do not know how to handle, how to actually hold a fountain pen. So it could be easier for some people
I think that's why they're doing this. That set looks the same kind of packaging. The Velcro, and you open it up, and on the inside cover, it has how to use, unscrew the grip section of the body, fully submerge the pen into the ink, reassemble grip section, to clean, flush underwater, all this, allow to dry before filling with a new color, how to care for your pen between uses. All that stuff is on this inside cover. So I think they're targeting young people with this to get them into using a fountain pen and get them interested in fountain pens, paper, and ink. And I think that's laudable because as I said to many of the people over at the Fountain Pen Network forum online, if your group is full of aging men and you're not letting new people in, your whole love of fountain pens is going to disappear with you guys when you pass away. The only way to keep this kind of thing going is by challenging and interesting young people in taking up a fountain pen and seeing the joys of writing with paper and ink. And I think Ferris Wheel Press should be lauded for that because they do an excellent job at that. That being said, I did want to also say about pricing and supply that there's a lot of people complaining that when they come out with something nice like this ink and you fall in love with it, then it disappears. A lot of people were saying, well, they're doing that to force the price because it's now scarce. I don't think that happens at all. It's not even in Ray's thinking. His thinking is that we create new things all the time. And here's a new batch of this, that's really, and then we're on to the next thing. And when that runs out, we've got the formula and everything, we can always make more. But it's not in their mind to do that. We're creating new things all the time. So he said, well, why would you want to write with the same ink all the time? And I thought that was an interesting attitude because it sort of speaks to Ferris Wheel Press and their attitude about things. New, interesting, innovative, fun. And going back to the same old ink is not fun in Ray's mind. He did say that he would be conducive to bringing back some inks when people are really starting to raise the roof about their ink. Some kind of ink that everybody was going crazy for and is not available. He said, all right, we'll make some more.
Well, they better make more pumpkin patch because that's the one I tipped.
That was
and I absolutely love this ink.
Yeah, I was sad to see that my beloved Peter Moss is going to be discontinued. I'm glad I have this. But yeah, that is something that you see a lot, that you see some ink and it's pretty much every ink is going to be limited edition eventually.
All you have to do is look at some of the gnashing of teeth that goes along with inks being discontinued or being slightly different. There was a purple ink recently from
Lamy.
From the Lamy purple. and they changed the formula or something, and this was a big controversy. Everybody was asking, what do you think of the Lamy controversy? I said, what controversy? Well, the purple is different. And I looked at them, well, not that different, but it means a lot to people. And I found that myself because I fell in love with ink when I found Schaefer Peacock Blue. And of course, they discontinued that. You can't get it anymore. And I went on this mad search for a very close equivalent to the Schaefer Peacock Blue. So I understand what it's like when you have this. Now I stop using it because I don't want to run out. Well, the whole idea behind this is using it, right?
Yes,
So,
the same is happening with perfumes, that they get reformulated, and people say, no, the other one was better.
Absolutely.
So,
that's a good analogy, because people go crazy for that scent that they had, and they want that scent all the time. And companies go out of business, and you can't recreate some of these things. The good news is, I did ask Ray, do you have a record of the formulas for all of the, he said, oh, absolutely, we have. So at any time, they can bring back any ink that they want. Get your cards and letters into Ray, in Toronto, folks. If you want your favorite, like pumpkin, send a note to Ray. I want my pumpkin back.
Something that I noticed is that some of the inks, well, at least the older ones, were made in Canada, but the last one that I got from Visa, which is Currant Crumble Pie, that is made in the UK.
Good to know. Good to know. So thanks for that, Claudia and Mike. I really appreciate you guys being with me here today to talk everything Ferris Wheel Press. As Claudia said, while we took a brief break and tried to reconvene via Google Meets, how could we talk for this long about pens and ink? Well, hey, all you have to do is be at a Calgary Pen Club meeting and we talk for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, and eat and drink and have a good time. And we do that almost every Saturday. So there's lots to talk about, lots to discuss. And I really appreciate you guys talking about Ferris Wheel Press with me today. And sharing your stories about Ferris Wheel Press. And I want to thank also Ray Yu at the Ferris Wheel Press in Toronto, and Fizza, his marketing manager, for sending us all this gear to talk about. When we nitpick about this and that, I don't like this, I do like that, the bottom line is we love fountain pens, and we love new stuff with fountain pens. And I think that Ferris Wheel Press is doing a terrific job at promoting our hobby, the thing that we love so much, by coming out with so many fascinating new inks, interesting new pens and stories and ideas, and making things fun. So thanks a lot to Ray and Fizza at Ferris Wheel Press for this. Thanks to you guys out there for watching this. And it's good night from me, and it's good night from Claudia. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night from Mikey.
Good night.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
We'll see you at the next Calgary Pen Club meeting.
You bet. Absolutely.
And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I made this.